Hey everyone, I am going to do a live reading of Claimed, the Torzial Affairs Book 3 by Via Marie, presented by Itsy Bitsy Book Bits. Torzial Consulting, Brian. The gavel comes down hard and it echoes in the courtroom. The court rules that all charges against Jennifer Ann Torzial are hereby dismissed, the judge says. She's standing in front of me, and I see her body visibly tremble as the court rules in her favor. Larry barely has time to stand up and begin shaking hands with the prosecution before I reach her. "You're free, sweetheart," I say, scooping her into my arms and twirling her around. "Brian, what happened?" she asks breathlessly. "You're mine, and I take care of what's mine. Now, let's get you home," I say against Jenny's lips. I start to guide her through the throng of prosecutors and attorneys standing around, and Kate taps me on the shoulder. "I hate to intrude, but I really need to hug my best friend," she says, laughing, smiling wide, her blue eyes dancing with excitement as she looks at Jenny. I reluctantly relinquish Jenny from my arms, allowing the best friends to embrace, and turn to shake hands with Chase. "I can't thank you enough," I say quietly, clapping him on the back. "Consider it karma, my friend. Take Jenny out first. We'll follow and keep the paparazzi busy for a few minutes," he says, grasping Kate around the waist. I guide Jenny outside of the courthouse, surrounded by security, but the newscasters and paparazzi are everywhere, trying their best to push through each other and our security team. "How does it feel to be vindicated of such a heinous crime? Is it true that Ty Channing raped you? Is it true you wrote in your diary every night about killing him?" I see Jenny's face visibly tighten at the last question and make a mental note to find out who leaked that fucking information to the press. "Say nothing, sweetheart," I say, glancing out at the crowd, catching sight of the ginger-haired lady who was so smooth and polished Christmas Eve, the night of Chase and Kate's wedding. I nudge Polly, letting him know to get her phone number. "Get us out of here," I say to Matt, who gives me a chin nod and in less than a few moments has us safely secured in the back seat of the limo. He slides in across from us and taps the glass behind him. Wes slowly navigates the black Lincoln through the crowd, and inch by inch we finally begin making our way through the throngs of people and into the noontime traffic. She's quiet and pensive, deep in thought, looking out the window until at last we reach the exit that connects us with the highway. "I thought we were going to your condo here in the city," she says, still gazing outside. "No, we're heading back to Bel Air. We're much more protected there than in any of my condos," I say, turning her to kiss me, knowing before I do that if it will generate questions, she will be searching for answers that I'm not yet willing to share. I'm not wrong. "It's not over, is it? They're still out there," Jenny says, her deep green eyes penetrating me like they do. I sigh. I knew this was coming, but didn't expect to have the conversation on the ride home from the courthouse. I would much prefer to tell her once we're safely back at my estate in Bel Air, where I know it would take an army to get through my security. "You're free, but this is not over by a long shot. Trust me," I say, slipping my hand under her long hair, cradling the back of her nape in my palm, and pulling her body close. The feel of her warm breath against my skin, knowing she's free and all mine, is intoxicating, and my dick twitches in agreement. I wrap her tightly to me, tipping her chin, taking pleasure in the haziness of those deep green eyes before kissing her gently on the lips. You remember me. I'm the security detail, or whatever the fuck you want to call me. You need me to jump up front with Wes and give you guys some privacy?" Matt says, his gray eyes sparkling with mischief. Jenny's cheeks turn flushed with embarrassment, but she tries to play it off by gesturing with her hands in the air and flashing a smile at him. "We're only kissing, Matt. Who knew my baby brother was such a prude?" Jenny says. "Baby brother? Fuck that. I want to be the older brother." "Fine. You always want your own way," she says, pretending to pout and shaking her head at him. I kiss the top of her long, dark, silky hair, keeping her tucked into my arms while the banter. I can't believe that at one point I was jealous as hell of her relationship with this guy, the very person Chase assigned to take care of her after the rape, thinking he wanted to get in her panties and have what's mine. I couldn't have been more wrong. This relationship is much more profound. They formed an inseparable bond. Her having a brother that she isn't close with, and him being raised in an orphanage, have drawn them together like a family. I wouldn't consider having anyone else in charge of her security, especially after he rescued her from the Chicago mob. Now we need to figure out how to get the fucking mafia off her tail for good, because after the stunt we just pulled, shit is about to get real. She and Matt are still bickering like siblings, and I can't help but laugh at their antics. I text Chase to check on the reporters as we make our way to the airport. Wes pulls up to the sleek silver Gulfstream G650. The dark blue Carrington steel emblem is proudly displayed on its tail. Stay close to Brian. The team will have you covered until you're safely on the plane, Matt says to Jenny as the men open our door, help us out of the limo and surround us as we lead to the awaiting jet. I guide her up the ramp and once on board, spend a few moments introducing her to the flight crew. The pilot gives me an update on the weather we can expect with an estimated time of arrival before I guide her into the main cabin of the plane. I watch intently as she takes in the luxurious interior of the place as we walk in. There are 3 sets of tables down the front half of the left side. The tops are made of dark gray and white swirled marble-like material, paired with 2 light gray leather chairs on either side, seating 4 comfortably at each. They have been positioned under the oblong windows of the plane for maximizing views. Across the aisle is a sitting area with a sectional couch and a small fireplace with a large black television monitor over the top. In the back left corner of the plane is a large circular black bar. The wall behind this is affixed with floor-to-ceiling mirrors, and on the top of the bar is a bouquet of various shaped and sized balloons, the center one displaying the word, "Congrats." There are 2 more doors to the right-hand corner of the plane, and she briefly glances at them before her eyes settle back to the arrangement on the bar. "What is all this?" she says, turning toward me. I like the way her cheeks have slightly pinked and her eyes are sparkling. "It's the party plane. We're fucking celebrating," I say, unable to control my laughter at Jenny's surprise and obvious delight. I lift her up, pulling her body close to mine and kiss her firmly on the lips. Matt peeks his head in. "Break it up, you two. They just arrived," he says, smirking. "Who just arrived?" she asks. I swear God-naturedly under my breath as Matt turns and walks out of the room without giving her an answer because now the cat's out of the bag. "Oh, I guess," I say, and it's my turn to smirk. I hear Chase's voice, and I can tell the very moment Jenny realizes what's going on. "Kate and Chase are coming with us to Bel Air?" she squeals. "Of course they are. You didn't think we could have a proper celebration without them, did you?" I say as Kate walks through the cabin door, grinning from ear to ear. "Surprise!" she yells, and Jenny rushes toward her dearest friend in the world, pulling her into her arms. "Thank you so much for coming," she says, and I can tell she's desperately trying to hold back the release of emotions from a long and trying day. "We wouldn't have missed this celebration for anything," Kate says, finally letting her go from her embrace. Chase walks in behind her, and ever the gentleman extends his hand. "Congratulations, Jenny. We are all more than elated about the court rulings," he says. "Yes, we are, and we couldn't have done it without your help," I say, clapping him on the back. I see the questions forming in Jenny's eyes, but it's not the time. I let my eyes shift from hers and begin talking to Chase, hoping to keep her questions at bay until we arrive home. The pilot announces preparations for takeoff, letting us know to take our seats and buckle up. I guide her to one of the tables and slide in beside her while Kate and Chase settle in across from us. The view is fantastic from these windows, Kate says, snuggling into Chase as he puts his arm around her. The pilot is soon accelerating down the runway and ascending into the air, circling the bay, leaving the city and all the courtroom drama behind in the distance. We have been talking for a short while when the pilot announces that it's safe to unbuckle. Almost immediately, Fernando, who is dressed entirely in white, comes into the main cabin from the crew area and heads to the back of the plane. The bar is now open. Who's having what? He says in a loud, friendly voice. Cranberry Cosmos, Kate and Jenny say at the exact same time, laughing. Jinx, Kate yells, laughing aloud. Jenny's eyes are sparkling with mischief and she's grinning widely. I see Chase smile, already privy to the scope. Story? I ask, enjoying the upturned curve of Jenny's candy-colored lips. That smile, the one that tells people she doesn't have a care in the world, the one I haven't seen for a while and hope to keep on her face indefinitely. Kate and I went out with a group of girls quite some time ago, and that's what we ordered. Let's just say we had way too many. It was a crazy night, and the headache the next day was horrendous, but oh my God, did we have fun. I swore I would never do that again, but we are celebrating, she says, laughing as the man hands each of the girls a drink before asking Chase and me what we'd like. I order my favorite scotch and Chase has the same. A toast to Jenny's freedom, I say after the bartender returns, and we all raise our glasses in unison. Jenny has finished her Cosmo and for the first time in weeks looks genuinely relaxed and carefree. I have no clue what happened in that courtroom today, but I'm so grateful for my freedom. The people in and out of this room managed to keep me safe and protected during this entire ordeal. What the hell happened? She asks, allowing her gaze to go from one to the next of us. I can see I'm going to need to tell her something. Right on cue, Larry and Matt enter the cabin. Jenny, we owe the verdict today to the information that Matt obtained and that Larry was able to use in court, I say. She nods, taking this in, and seemingly that is enough for now, but I see the question lingering in her eyes. A toast to the best security team and attorney anyone could ever hope to have, I say, catching Chase's eye and sending him a wink. Matt and Larry, what will you have? I ask as they take a seat on the sofa across from us. Bottle of Coke for me, Matt says. You're not on security tonight. Order what you want, I say, and Jenny laughs. I don't even know what kind of drink you like except coffee and Coca-Cola, bro, she says. Who's on her security detail? Matt asks me, looking around the cabin. We got a crew covering it. Tonight you're celebrating with us, I say. Hell yeah, in that case, I'll have a Jameson on the rocks, Matt says. Why don't you try the Dalmore 62 instead, I say, nodding to the bartender who brings a bottle of my favorite whiskey from behind the bar. I'll gladly take you up on that offer, boss, he says, grinning widely at me. Well, not yet technically, but I'm still hoping you'll take me up on my offer. I'd love to bring you on board if you're interested, I say, glancing at Chase, who currently pays his salary, but knows that I want him under my own employ now that he's solely dedicated to Jenny's security. The bartender hands Matt his drink, and he takes a sip of the $250,000 a bottle whiskey and nods, slowly smiling. Oh, now that's smooth, he says, clearly enjoying the experience, but choosing not to reply to my inquiry. Glad you like it. I owe you a hell of a lot more than that for what you've done for Jenny. You have the entire night off to enjoy yourselves. You and Larry, drink what you want, I say, raising my glass in a toast. Thanks, Brian, Chase. That's nice of you, he says, keeping to himself the obvious. We all know it's not over by a long shot, but we have a reason for celebration tonight and clink our glasses together. Jay, Keith, and Paulie enter the cabin at that moment. Chase and I shake hands with each of them, and I tell the bartender to get them what they want. They all order non-alcoholic drinks or coffee, and I notice the girls have managed to empty their glasses. I raise a glass in a gesture to see if Chase has an issue with refilling the girls, and he smiles at his wife, who's animatedly talking with Jenny and nods his consent. I order the girls another round, and they are whispering in hushed voices and then laugh out loud in unison as the bartender hands them fresh drinks. After a short while, the conversation shifts, and the men begin talking about the first time they were introduced to Kate. Just say that when Jay assigned me to your detail, I wasn't exactly thrilled. Sheldon and Derek were in Aruba when Chase met Kate. She absolutely hated the fact that Chase assigned a full-time security detail to her and didn't make it easy on any one of the crew, Matt says. Matt, how can you say that about my best friend? Jenny says while she and Kate pretend to pout. But she can't hold the look on her face for long and suddenly bursts out laughing.